Monday. Happy Monday. Happy fun day. It's the end of the first work day for the week. Maybe some persons work on Sundays, but it's the first day of the week for us working people that's in the corporate world. So good evening and happy Monday. Happy to see y'all another time. It's just amazing how God is just strategic and how he just moves on our hearts and just cause us to just flourish in him. And I'm truly grateful to be in your living room, in your car, in your bedroom, wherever you're viewing us from. I'm just happy to be a part of your home tonight. We're coming live on Prayer for Marriages. About to say before I'm just happy to be a part of your marriages. Home. So tonight we're gonna continue a topic that we started a couple of weeks ago. Well, Evangelist Nikki did. I can't remember if I did anything. I don't think I did. But we're gonna talk about unrealistic expectations. Sometimes our expectations are not so realistic because we tend to want so major stuff, but it's not realistic. And so we're going to talk about that again tonight, right? We're going to talk about that again tonight. And I want us all to be honest because I know, from being in different relationships, whether it's your spouse or friends, but because it's prayer for marriages, we're going to be talking about in your unrealistic and the realistic expectations that we have in our marriage. And I looked at something today, right? And it says realistic expectations, like what are the differences? Realistic expectations are based on facts and evidence, whereas unrealistic ones are based on hopes and dreams. So both my co-host, my co-anchor, we're going to talk about this. Evangelist Nikki McKenzie. We were together 2 weeks ago when I was in Georgia. It was such a pleasure to seeing her in person again. And so we're going to help everybody out this evening talking about the realistic expectation and the unrealistic expectations that we have. And remember, I just said that realistic expectations is based on facts and evidence, whereas the unrealistic ones, they're often based on hope. I hope he do this. I hope she do this. Hopes and dreams, right? So we're here to talk about it tonight. All right. So come on in, evangelist. And you go first and then I'll come in. We'll piggyback off each other. All right. Welcome her back again, y'all. So y'all used to her, not me, right? And so I just love how we work together good with just bouncing back and forth. So I'm really happy and I'm really glad that she's here with us tonight. And I'm just really excited about what God is about to do with both of us tonight. Welcome to those of you in the Zoom room. Welcome to all right. Those of you on YouTube and Facebook, welcome. And I can't get this view together. Let me do it again. Hold on one moment. I can't get it together. Yes. So Evangelist Nikki is gonna come in. She's gonna come in and we're going to do it together. Go ahead and get started. Evangelist Nikki, I'll just add myself to the view.
Howdy. Good to be back. Good to be back. Yes, it's been 2 weeks. Yes, it's been 2 weeks. So it's good to be back. Miss y'all dearly. Miss y'all dearly. I hope you guys get some time to get caught up on the replay because we had so many information out there. So even when we're not live, we're not leaving you, without information. So it's always good to tune in to our Facebook replay or YouTube. So there's a platter of information we have in our catalogs that you can always catch up on when we're not on. But it's good to be back. Good to have you all back with us tonight again. I hope everyone, as Evangelist said, had an amazing weekend and most importantly, making an amazing day today so far. I hope you all have an amazing day. So, yes, the topic again, this is part two. If you missed part one, don't be dismayed. Still available out there on YouTube and all other streaming platforms that we do have. And yes, I am your girl. Julie's Evangelist Nikki McKenzie. I am just a simple girl trying to be better than I was the day before. That's it. That's
I
all
like
I
that.
am.
I like that.
I need to be better than I was the day before. Yes. Yes. So it's good to be back. And as Evangelist alluded to, we'll be divulging again an expectation, realistic and unrealistic. But today I want to more focus on unrealistic because a lot of time we blur the line because in our head, the image that we create, the movie, the pictures that we paint in our head without even discussing with somebody else, we come with that notion that person or behold or light and shining armor, our therapist, our counselor, to hold us accountable for our triggers and all these other things that we put under the mortal man. Are those realistic? If the table is turned, is it realistic? We had a conversation a few days ago, you know, which had us going part two again. Is your partner responsible for your triggers? Is that realistic to hold someone accountable for our triggers? Is that realistic in relationship, friendship, whatever ship you want to put it in? So tonight we'll be talking again, as Evangelist said, prior for March. So we're going to more tailor to relationship, your spouse. Is it realistic for us to hold our spouse accountable for our triggers, our traumas, our dramas, right? For all the issues that we come in the relationship with, right? Are we supposed to hold them accountable and not having those conversations with them? So I want to delve into tonight, as Evangelist said, realistic expectations are facts, right? And is it a factual thing that we hold our spouse responsible for what we have been through before we even met them? To put all that burden on them? Are they our therapists? I mean, unless you're married to a counselor or a therapist. Right? But even so, when you do, we still encourage you to seek outside help because that's too much pressure on one person. Where others think I come in a relationship, you should know what triggers me, you should know my traumas, and you should not violate them. Well, how realistic is that? Can you hold yourself accountable even with your own triggers? So we want to delve into tonight with some of the false expectation that we have on our own self towards our partner. We come in and we expect our partners to be our accountable partner for our triggers. Yes, they can help us along the way, but it is your responsibility. Honestly, it is your responsibility to sort out the help that you need. Because what if you had never get married? What if you were never in a relationship? Who would you be held in accountable for your trauma? So you got to be real about that, right? So, Evangelist, I know it's a lot to talk about, but we want to condense it tonight for time constraint because we only have 30 minutes, guys. We're only here tonight for 30 minutes with us tonight. So what is the effect? We want to talk about the effects, unrealistic expectation in marriages and their effects, right? When you hold your partner responsible for your triggers, what are we saying to them, right? They are our everything. So when they have their triggers, because we all have traumas and some childhood issues with all of us. Some of them is more maintained, some of us is more in control. But who is your partner supposed to hold responsible for their triggers when you're holding them for years, right? Is it realistic though? So what are the effects when we're holding our partner hostage for our triggers, our traumas, right? We're not talking about boundaries, right? Because it is our responsibility to set those boundaries by communicating them. What are our triggers? Like, if you have a fear of abandonment and your spouse gone for too long and they haven't checked in, you started hyperventilating, you start panicking. If you have a set time when you guys would communicate, say if the person is on a 9 to 5, for example, and they get their break at a set time and their lunches, and normally within those time, they would call you within those time. What if they can't make the call within those time? If they get held up, in a meeting or it went over and they weren't able to go to breaks on time. Or you there sitting hyperventilating that they triggering me because they should know how this impacts me. Or is it safe to say, you know what, they normally call me at this time? Instead of they're stressing themselves, let me check and see if they're okay, right? Are we taking accountability? Are we just sitting waiting for somebody to do? Relationship is, it's a doing, it's a serving. It's not what others are doing to you, it's what you come in to do for the other person. How do you come in to serve the person? But we come unrealistic, expect others to serve us. And when they don't, we say they triggers us. You know, I have abandonment issue. You know what this did to me or what it does to me when you don't do X, Y, and Z. No, you're gonna put that person in a flight mode, right? They're gonna like, hold on now. When do we take accountability our own triggers? So that's what we want to kind of, delve in tonight. Just letting us understand how unrealistic that is. And I understand people come in and, trauma bonding is a lot of time when people start relationship off of trauma bonding because you have similar trauma and you can relate to each other. And you said, you know what, they had either been through that situation or they had somebody that close to them been through that same situation, that abandonment issue, or they themselves have that same issue. And you guys connect on that level. So now we come in and say, because they know, because I share this with them, they should know better. Well, sweetie, they're going through their own trauma too if you're in trauma bonding, right? So we have to be realistic when we are triggered. We have to backtrack what causing is, what is happening in the moment, what happened a couple of hours before, what was going on. Because you don't just get up and just get triggered just like that. What movies, what are you playing in your mind to get to that state? How were you feeling at that moment? Whenever the triggers come on, think about the environment, you in the atmosphere, the thoughts that's going on, what happened throughout the day, right? So for you to end up at that place. A lot of times your spouse have no idea. And a lot of time we don't even communicate it to our spouse, to be real. Absolutely. A lot of time until after they validate, we say, when you do this, my ex used to do that. Well, they have no idea. They're not in your mind. So one of the things is you have to communicate clearly, because if not, is you gonna sabotage your own relationship. You're gonna burn on your house from the inside. And then you're gonna say, it's his fault because he didn't check in. It's his fault because he know what this does to me. What we wanted to focus on tonight, everything that we spoke about on this platform, is not for you to go to your spouse and beat on your spouse, right? And said, you're doing this, you're doing that. We talk about self-improvement. Every change we wanted to see, it start with us. We do not have the evangelist and I, we can counsel you all day. We can give you information all day. We can't change your mindset unless you make that decision to change. Unless you take information and implement
that's an
it.
unrealistic expectation.
Yes, you have to implement the information, because information without application is just overloading yourself and you're not going anywhere. You're like a hamster on a wheel if you do not implement information that we divulge out there to you to make you better. So you have to want better. How you feel about that, Evangelist? Am I on the right cadence tonight?
Yeah, listen, I want to say something before you go any further, because we this is a real popular unrealistic expectation that a lot of people have in marriage. And I think I was talking about this with someone today, right? And I think we say it all the time. Your spouse is not, and I repeat, is not responsible for your happiness. We tend to say, "Oh, I want somebody that's going to make me happy." No, you have to already be happy within your own self, because just like that, you want somebody to make you happy, and they make you happy, they're going to make you sad, they're going to make you miserable, they're going to make you frustrated, they're going to make you uneasy. So whatever, that is an unrealistic expectation. If you are not happy, no matter what that person does, your spouse does, it will never be enough to make you happy. Happiness comes from within. Happiness comes from having peace, joy. Happiness comes from just having a. Now, does that mean that you're not gonna want somebody to come in and bring a more sense of happiness to you? Yes, but the ultimate goal is unrealistic. They're not going to make you happy. They're not. And it's even within a friendship. if Evangelist Nikki and I are friends, and if I'm not happy, it's no way she can make me happy. It's nothing that she can do, because guess what? Even when she bend over backward, lay on the ground and let me walk on her, it's still not going to be enough to make me happy. So you as an individual have to make yourself happy from the giddy up. Because if not, that's an unrealistic expectation for a person. So what you have to do now is go back in your life and see what caused the unhappiness and fix it. And as she alluded to earlier, Evangelist Nikki alluded to earlier, your spouse, you cannot say that, oh, I was triggered by something my spouse did, and you hold them responsible to say, oh, they should know. No, no, no. This is why we're saying you yourself have to be one. It's not, you can't be a half a person, or you shouldn't be a person with a lot of baggage and want to go come into a permanent relationship and think that this person now is going to make me happy. No, that's unrealistic. And guess what it is? It's unfair. Because if you're dependent on someone else to make you happy, something is already going on with you. I don't want to say something is wrong with you, but something is happening with you for you to want for somebody to make you happy. Because then you may need a substance also to make you happy. You may want to smoke a cigarette. You may want to take a drink. You may want to take some narcotics, sex. You know what I mean? To make you happy. And when those things don't work, what are you going to be? Still miserable. So we always have to do a self inventory, right? Always have to be a self inventory. Take a self inventory. And Evangelist Nikki says this all the time. Be the person you want to see your husband or your wife. Whatever change or however you want the person to behave, you have to be that. Because sometimes our expectation, we expect our spouse to be perfect. And we're not perfect. Like, listen, y'all know, you see the ladies on whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, say, oh, I want a real man, but they got long hair down to their feet. Their boobs is well enhanced, their butt is well enhanced. They have the
Body
Coca-Cola
built my
body
Mattel,
shape.
I
The,
said.
the, the, the skin is so pretty. And when you find out they had a lot of work done, are they truly real? So we tend to put unrealistic expectations on persons that we don't even have. Like, everybody wants somebody with good credit. Do you have good credit? So a lot of times we expect the person to be what we're not, and it's unfair. It's so unfair. And I know a lot of y'all just not gonna talk to me anymore, and not gonna like, let's say Evangelist Baker, she's just all in our business. Yes, because I want to let you know that you have to be the person that you want your spouse to be to make your relationship work, right? And so we need to stop putting unrealistic expectation on our spouse. No, also nobody's going to complete you. If you're not already completed, your spouse is not going to do that. They're going to compliment you. Our spouse compliment us. We compliment our spouse, not complete. Only God can complete us. So if you're not a complete in God, then your spouse is not going to be it. All right? They're not going to be it. Go ahead, Evangelist.
And as you mentioned with happiness, one of my stand on that happiness is an inside job.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
starts with us. It's unattainable for us to put all
Mm-hmm.
that on our spouse. You have to come happy, and your spouse enhance your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come in a relationship and you were not happy before, you, like you said, they will, because if you are unhappy and your spouse is happy, what's gonna do? You're gonna drain that person. And if you're depending on that person again, you become a slave to that person. Because like Evangelist said, they'll control your sadness, they'll control your joy. You give them all that power. So happiness is an inside job. It's a state of mind. You have to already have it.
Mm-hmm.
You alone are responsible for your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
We can't put that responsibility on anyone else. It is
No.
really unrealistic to believe that we can do that. And as you said, we complement each other. A lot of people don't want to compliment their spouse. They want to compete with their spouse and don't realize it's not a competition. It's not a competition. That's not what biblical marriage is. We come together, work together to become one. Because then we're starting division. We have to be able to analyze ourselves and assess ourselves that when we come in a relationship, what do we come to give? See, a lot of
Right.
folks come with a mindset, what can I get? What can you give me? What can you do for me? And we come with a gimme, gimme, gimme mindset, right? And the one that relationship is servitude. It is coming to give. Love is give. Love is sacrifice. Love is long suffering, right? You have to be able to come to give these things. Love is something that Christ did for us. When Christ died on the cross for us, that was love. The sacrifice on the cross, that was love. Love is what you gave. But nobody want to give. They want to come take, take, take. And when you drain that person and they start being themselves, said enough is enough. Because some people will try to, put on the front in the beginning. But how long can they contain that? How long can they maintain it? Then you're going to say, what?
Right.
Oh, they change. This is not who they are. I don't know who you are anymore. You change. Relationship, we should come to evolve, to be better.
You have to
We don't
change.
come to stay the way we are. But when
Mm-mm.
you hear a person say they change, what they're saying is you're not be at my beck and call. You're not catering to me like you used to. Now you
Right.
have a mind of your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now they can't manipulate you no more. And
Mm-hmm.
they can't take no more. Because now you put up a standard and said, oh, hold on now. Right? So we have to come with that realistic expectation that I am coming to serve this person that I commit to, whether they reciprocate or not. Some people said, oh, I can only respect this person when they do this. So you're being unrealistic because what you're coming in and saying, okay, if he paid the bill, I respect him. What if it happened when life happened and they can't pay the bill? What if they're going through a career shift? What if the money's looking funny? What are you saying? I don't respect the person, but I only respect what they can do for me. That's unrealistic to be in a relationship. It will not last.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want nobody just respect you just for what you come to give. What happened when you
Right.
can't? You hear these buzzwords nowadays. When you get in a relationship, they're like, oh, what does she bring to the table? They like their friends like, what does she bring to the table? With the assumption that they already have a fork, right? It's not coming, we coming to set the table together. We're coming to build the table together. So when you come in a relationship that, okay, she come with the bag, I got my bag. What happened when the bag ran out? What happened when illness kick in? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
We have this unrealistic expectation that they're going to do all the things that they did in the beginning when the relationship was in honeymoon stage. But when life happened, responsibility, kids, household, and all these other things take place, now we're saying, oh, they're not giving us enough time. They're not spending enough time with us no more.
Before you go further, I want to piggyback on something you said about my spouse change, right? And that's an unrealistic expectation. When you marry a person, I changed. I know I changed for the better. And you want them to change for the better. And you want your spouse to change. So an unrealistic expectation in marriage is saying the person I'm married will never or should never change. You want them to evolve. You don't want them to have the same mindset. You want them to listen.
Right.
Marriage should bring about growth. You should see some growth in you now. I've been married, for 15 years. That's not a long time, but I've seen so much growth in me. I've seen so much growth in me that I'm not the person I was 15 years ago. I don't think 15 years ago I would even be able to sit on this platform to speak on relationship because I was a total mess, right? I was a total mess with my attitude, with a whole bunch of stuff that was just going on with me that I needed to mature in, right? And when I got married, that thing changed me. I had so many unrealistic expectations that I think that my husband should do. Then when I got married, Evangelist, Lady Janelle, when I got married, it showed me, oh, honey, no, 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 no. Some things has to change, right? So it's unrealistic to think that the person that you're married should or will never change. That should not, that you should expect your spouse to change. You should expect them to grow. You should expect them to evolve. Listen, in marriage, if you don't have children and you have children, that children is going to change you. That right there, when the kids come along, You're going to change. Your attitude is going to change. Your schedule is going to change. Everything is going to change about you. Your weight is going to change. So many things are going to change. So that's an unrealistic expectation to think that, my partner is not going to change. Listen, I'm happy I changed. And so is my husband. He's happy that I made a change because I could not have stayed the same person. You guys would not be listening to me the way I was 15 years ago. And I'm happy. Lady Janelle said, heavy on the children changing you. I'm telling you, children come to test your gangster. So now you have to listen. Evangelist had to preach with her daughter on her lap 2 weeks ago. So that's a change. Before she got married, she could have preached without the baby. I don't even think she was preaching at that time. But now that she's preaching, she's a mother, she's a wife, she got to tend to her children. That's change. Change is inevitable. So it's unrealistic to think that you're not going to change or they shouldn't change. They should change for the better. Now, if they change for the worse, that see me for counseling. If they change for the worse, because whoo, that's work. It's work. It's work. That's why we should not go in with these unrealistic dreams and hopes. No, we're adult and we're going to have adult conversation and we're going to sit down and we're going to behave like adults. Listen, Lady Renee always said, everybody want to be an adult till it comes to adult things, right? When it's time to do adult things, then we want to be kids. No, you're married now, or you're engaged now. You're preparing to be married. So guess what? You're an adult and you are responsible. Both of y'all got to come and set the table together, like Evangelist Nikki just said. Let's both set the table. Let's both make the bed. Let's both cook. If I don't know how to cook, teach me how to cook, and vice versa. We're going to do it together. We're going to build together. It's nothing like building together. And I want to say something about Lady Janelle and her husband. I see them, I just watch their stories, whether it be on Facebook or WhatsApp, and I see them building together, taking care of the children together. He'll cook and she'll just compliment the cooking, and that's how it's supposed to be. And the dishes look so delicious. I'm like, oh, I wish I could taste that. But you're building together. Together, you're working together, and that's what marriage is about. Servitude. Evangelist Nikki says it so well. Servitude. We tend to want to be served. No, you serve each other. You're going to serve each other. And this is how, this ministry is built on the foundation of, you know, having successful marriages, one family at a time, one couple at a time. If we can pull one couple a week out of divorce, out of separation, to bring you back into a place of, wait a minute, let's sit down and talk, we have done our jobs. So hopefully tonight what you heard about unrealistic, and we're not finished. We're going to come back next week and talk, right? But we just want to give you half an hour so you come back. Share this broadcast with somebody. If you're on YouTube, share it. If you're on Facebook, share it. Share this in your WhatsApp group. Somebody you got a girlfriend that have unrealistic expectations from her husband. You have a husband, you have your boy that is expecting unrealistic stuff from his wife. He expects his wife to go to work, come home, do a bunch of homework, cook, clean, and then have sex while he's sitting chill. No, we're gonna work together. That's unrealistic. It's unrealistic, guys. Listen, I take them for the men, but some things are unrealistic, and we have to know whatever you expect from your partner, that's what you should be given. Am I right, Evangelist Nikki?
Amen to that.
Whatever,
Absolutely,
listen, whatever
absolutely.
you want from your partner, hopefully you're willing to give that. And most of the time, it's the opposite. We want. So we want. I think that's a song, right? We want, but we don't want to give. And marriage is about giving and taking, servitude. Let's serve our spouse. Right? Let's make tonight or the rest of the week say, you know what, I'm going to serve my spouse. If each person, the husband and the wife say, I'm going to serve you, babe. I'm going to serve you, babe. Do you know what a good week you're going to get? Men, serve your wife. You want the sex to turn up? Serve your wife. Ladies, you want the sex to turn up? Serve your husband. I'm telling you, it's the little things that matter, the little things that counts that will make a relationship work. Listen, we love you. Thanks for joining us. Like I always say, if you have not joined our Thursday night community, you want to do so. I'm telling you, we're talking about what to do when I marry wrong. What to do when I choose wrong, right? What to do when I choose the wrong partner, the wrong spouse? What do I do? Join us Thursday for part two. We had an awesome time last week. We had some men sharing, ladies sharing. You don't want to miss our Thursday night community on Zoom. If you're not part of our community, please join in. We would love to have you. Amen. All right, Evangelist Nikki, we thank you. We thank you for always being here. I mean, she's my left arm, right? Right or left. She's just there, and I just really want to appreciate her for always. If I'm not available, she's like, I got you. If she's not available, then I got me, right? So working together, serving each other, servitude, all right? So listen, share this broadcast. Remember, see you next week. We love you. God bless you. Tell the people and bye, Evangelist Nikki.
Definitely. See you guys next week. Please share, tell a friend, share, share, share. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you for coming. God bless you.